Donald Trump ain't got nothing on Southern Place family. So now we're going to make some cookies. We're going to make bar cookies. This is one of my favorite cookie recipes. Back when my daughter was little, she had a preschool teacher. This is her. Two of her preschool teachers are here tonight. This is one earlier, her first preschool, and she had a grandson that was in the hospital and not doing so well, and she just needed a little pick-me-up. So I decided about 10 o'clock at night I needed to make cookies. Oftentimes I decide at 10 or 11 o'clock at night I need to cook, and it's a great time for me to cook because I can go in there and cook, and then I can claim I'm tired, and I go to bed, and then Ricky goes in, and he cleans up all the mess. So this cookie recipe is going to be so easy, you're not going to believe it. Let me tell you, though, how it's going to taste. It tastes like brown sugar and butter and just all kinds of good stuff, so I hope you get to make this soon. We're going to start with baking mix, and that's kind of surprising, but I promise you're going to love it. This is actually House Autry baking mix. It's one of my favorites. It's hard to find around in this area, so if you can't find it, just use your favorite baking mix. We're just going to pour this in the bowl. This is a pour and stir recipe. Brown sugar, and this is light brown sugar. I tell you, I use whatever brown sugar I have on hand. I tend to go for dark brown sugar because I like the flavor of it, you know. And I got to look in here. Oh, there's a lump. Well, you know, I can't feed y'all that. Okay, there we go. And I know the culinary chef is thinking, oh, she's eating out of the bowl. That was my Chef Ogun impression. Is Chef around here? She's eating out of my bowl on the stage. Okay. So I'm going to add in my oats, and you can use old-fashioned oats or quick oats, whatever you have on hand. Now these, I'm putting my melted butter in here. This is where you're going to get good. And I do often use margarine. Let me tell you something funny about the margarine. I had this one lady send me this email one time, and she said, why do you use margarine instead of butter? And she wrote down all these reasons why she thought I might possibly use it. She said, is it the nutritional value? Do you have a problem with dairy products? Do you? I mean, she went on and on and on, and I said, I'm just cheap. There you go. I'm cheap, you know. But this is UNA. They use butter. I'm gonna crack me an egg and put this in here. And you know, I told them, I said, y'all leave the egg in there. Let me do it whole on stage, because Mama always is really impressed that I can crack an egg one-handed and never get a shell in. So for the first time in my life, I got the shell in. Thank you, God. He likes to take it down a few notches every now and then. Just keeps things lively. So then we're going to add in our vanilla as well. And I'm trying to see. This is not as runny as it should be. We're doing live stage here. And let me tell you what I do about vanilla. It usually calls for a teaspoon or so. I just pour. I figure, let God decide how much vanilla goes in there. I ain't had no complaints yet. And if anybody wants to complain, they don't get to eat my cookies anymore. So I always issue that threat. And I do use cheap vanilla too. I had no one of those emails, why don't you make your own vanilla? Why don't you do this? Why don't you go and you get the vanilla bean and you can special order them from Timbuktu and they will deliver them to your door and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, yeah, but I can get this little generic bottle. It's like this big at Walmart. It's 98 cents, you know? So then we're going to take our Nestle Toll House morsels. I have become a huge fan of Nestle since starting Southern Plate. I've had a wonderful opportunity to work with some great companies, and you get to see which companies are really family friendly. And we do on Southern Plate, we do what I call family adventure days. My husband and I noticed in September of last year, I know exactly when it was, that on the weekends we'd be sitting at home with the kids, and just because we were home together as a family, we were not spending time together as a family. My kids are 11 and 5. Brady would be in his room playing video games. Katie would be in her room doing dolls or something. I end up on the computer. The temptation is too great. And Ricky would end up on his computer. And so we weren't spending any time together as a family. And we decided every weekend that we have a chance. We pick one day. We get up in the morning. We tell the kids we're going on an adventure. We get up early and we leave the house. We get in the car together and we go somewhere. It's never anything expensive. We have made a family adventure day out of going to Sam's Club. You know, seriously. And I tell you, we went to Sam's Club one time, and we said, we were trying, what we're going to have for lunch. And I said, you know, the kids have always wanted to eat in the food court. Would y'all like to eat in the food court? Yes, we want to eat in the food court. So we sat down in the food court at Sam's Club, and they had pizza and Coke, and we talked, and we had a great time. And on the way home, we played VeggieTales, and we were singing all the silly songs, and just had a really good time with it. And we pull in the driveway, and Katie says, that was the best family adventure day ever. And Brady says, yeah, it really was. So, you know, since we started doing that, that has been the one thing that has made the biggest difference in our family is doing the Family Adventure Days. And Nestle, when they heard about my Family Adventure Days, somehow they found out about Southern Plate and were reading about my Family Adventure Days, and they offered to sponsor them. So every time I do a Family Adventure Day post, Nestle gives away a couple $100 in groceries to my readers. They have these big coupon packs for free groceries. You know, it's just everything it's all their Nestle products free. And I'll give away 5 or 6 coupon packs every time I do a Family Adventure Day post. So I'm actually got to put one up soon, so y'all need to go to Southern Plate, look for that. Is Mitch Clemens in the audience? I need Mitch to come up here. Mitch, are you here? Come on up here. I want you to stand awkwardly while I finish this. His wife. Let me tell y'all, if y'all would clap for Mitch Clemens for me. This man, I mean, I know y'all do, but how many of you love your spouse? Okay. Mitch is up here as an example of you because this man loves his wife. So Mitch, I want you to stand awkwardly right here because she said you're never embarrassed. And she said she's very easily embarrassed.
She is.
All right, well, we got you. Oh, and you got, let me tell you, we told them, said, we're going to get y'all special seats here. And we want y'all, you know, we're going to have you sitting up front. And we're going to get you VIP passes. And this is kind of a low budget thing. And my father-in-law and mother-in-law didn't get to drive in from Georgia for this at the last minute. And so this is kind of low budget. You know, we can't afford to print more VIP passes. So this is Rick Jordan, my father-in-law, up here tonight. Are you Linda? Okay, you're Linda, my mother-in-law. All right, so Mitch is going to stand there awkwardly. And I'm going to take my bacon dish here. And we just spray this. And this is going to be kind of a thicker dough. You having fun yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. How's the food been? How's the food been? You like it? Your wife's been making Southern Plate recipes, right? Now, are you the cook or are you just the taste tester? All right, there you go. That's a good man. It's my kind of man.
We didn't say nothing. Well, they can think lighter than words.
Yeah, there you go. I had one of my readers told me, they said that, because I'll always say, if you taste them, oh man, this is awful, you don't want this, and that means, of course, this is so good, you know, get away, let me have it all. And she said her grandfather they'd say he loved his wife's cooking, and her grandmother was the best cook. And her grandfather was so proud to be married to a woman that loved him enough to cook for him. He would sit down and he'd take the first bite of supper and they'd all wait. They'd say, how does it taste, Granddaddy? And he'd smile and he'd say, just like kerosene. So we're just going to pat this in our pan and then we're going to put this in the oven up here. It's going to be about 350 for about 30 minutes. We're going to click our heels 3 times. And here we go. Our Nestle Toll House bars made with bacon mix. And now, I do have a reason to have him here. I promise. I wanted y'all to have a little special date night. This is his date night. He planned this just for his wife because he loves his wife. So what I'm going to do, you can eat these just like they are, but we're going to make a special little sundae for Mitch. And they just gave us 1 spoon. I guess you're going to really love your wife. Look at that. I'm going to daub that in there, you know. I don't have a lot of grace in the kitchen. Oftentimes, if you read my recipes, it'll be instructions like, dump this in a bowl. And then dump this in a bowl. And I'm going to get a cookie bar out here. Let's get you a big hunk of one. Stick that in this little thing. You don't mind if I touch on your food, do you, Mitch? Cool. If you come to my house, you know, you got to touch on the food a little bit. It makes it taste better. Puts luck in it, you know. There you go. And I'm going to put me a little sprinkles up here. And we have got us a beautiful cookie bar tailgating sundae. And I'm going to give this to Mitch and his beautiful wife. Y'all go share that. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. And now the culinary students are going to come around and serve you these cookie bars. I hope you enjoy them. They have made hundreds of cookie bars.